Welcome back. Welcome back. I believe this content creator called Film Analyst. It's good to see someone else using Star Wars to teach life lessons. And also someone that actually paid attention to the thing and is gonna literally show people that think they're fans. No, you like your little part, you cherry pick, and then you think you're right when you speak. Sort of like the Bible. People cherry pick and then don't see the big picture.
Star Wars. I have never seen so many people love a film franchise yet miss the point of it so much in my life. Many folks cherry pick popular phrases like
Do or do not. There is no try.
or
Judge me by my size, do you?
or hello there, and use them to affirm their own philosophies about accomplishment, achieving goals, and moving up in life. But the problem is, that's not Star Wars philosophy. One time my dad, as I debated quitting my wrestling team in college, said that I needed to do what Luke did and face Vader, i.e. beat the guy who beat me in my weight class before I threw in the towel. I don't know what movie he was watching because Luke clearly does not kill his father. He literally throws his lightsaber away and refuses to fight him. This, right here, is when Luke actually becomes a Jedi for real. This is what good triumphing over evil actually looks like, according to George Lucas. Refusing to fight, choosing love over hate, and letting go.
Unleashed. I command respect and admiration from everyone around me. I trust my instincts and make decisions that reflect my thoughts. Nothing stands in my way. I am the force of nature and the world bends to my will. I dictate the terms of success and everyone naturally follow my lead. Others are merely shadows in my light. What I do today becomes the standard of tomorrow. Challenges only serve to showcase my strength. My words shape the thoughts of many. Anything less is unacceptable. My energy and ambition are unmatched. Everything revolves around my vision. I inspire loyalty and devotion. My mere presence demands attention. I shape the narrative. My influence transforms the landscape. I command every room. My path is one that others aspire to follow. My drive knows no limits. I create my own reality and the universe aligns with my desires.
If you don't know who's talking, that's the Force. My Father, the Lord. Because he created reality. Let's find out how many people are Sith. Fucking retards.
Those that hold to light, those that cling to dark, all are kindred within the Force. I do what I must to maintain the balance, and that balance keeps me strong. There is no good without evil, yet evil shall not flourish. As my limbs balance my body, so does my path balance my mind. Through passion, I gain serenity. Through victory, I gain harmony. Through knowledge, I gain strength. I am a soldier who marches a narrow path. And as I guard the Force, so too does the Force guard me. I am a gray Jedi.
To fight, choosing love over hate, and letting go. Some surveys suggest that 60 to 75% of Americans have watched at least one Star Wars film or consider themselves fans. That's like a ton of people. And despite Star Wars' core principle of fear leading to the dark side and suffering, large swaths of Americans, according to some surveys, are very afraid of things like corruption in government, loved ones becoming ill, and economic collapse. My point is, a lot of Americans love Star Wars, yet seem to not internalize its underlying philosophy at all. And
Afraid, are you?
No, sir.
See through you. We can.
Be mindful of your feelings.
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
I miss her.
Afraid to lose her, I think.
What does that got to do with anything?
She's gone, isn't she? So what the fuck are you afraid of? Oh, you were afraid you were gonna lose her, but everybody loses their mother. Everybody loses everything. So why are you afraid? That's what happens down here.
Everything. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
seem to not internalize its underlying philosophy at all, and cherry-pick quotes from the films to reinforce worldviews that kind of go directly against what Star Wars advocates for. So in this video, I thought I'd break down the actual philosophy of Star Wars and highlight how many of us actually live in the dark side, whether we know it or not. In the actual Star Wars saga, which are only films 1 through 6, fear, anger, and aggression are highlighted as pathways to the dark side.
Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are they. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
We see this chain of fear leading to suffering in both trilogies. In the prequels, we see how Anakin's fear of losing Padme eventually leads to him losing his best friend, the love of his life, and his own humanity, as he becomes more machine than man by the end. In the original trilogy, Luke, fearing for the safety of his own friends, falls into Darth Vader's trap, gets his hand cut off, and receives news that makes him scream like a baby.
Anakin turned to Darth Vader because he had a vision his wife would die in childbirth. He didn't know that the reason she died in childbirth is because he turned into a Sith Lord. She finds out, and he was putting people down. So she was so brokenhearted that her man turned to the dark side. She died. She couldn't take the pain of a broken heart and giving birth at the same time, so she passed away. He didn't know that he was the reason she died. And he wanted to listen to the Sith Lord because he lied to him and said, I know how to bring people back from the dead. So, if he would have just left it the fuck alone like fucking Yoda told him to. Stop being afraid. I understand you see what you're seeing, but you can prevent it from happening. That's why you can see it happening. But you don't know how to stop it because you don't know what made it happen. Your fucking actions.
Fear eventually leads to suffering. Connecting this philosophy to our lives, it's no secret how social media platforms are engineered to maximize engagement, featuring...
I wonder why so many men lose their boyfriends or their girlfriends. Because they fear they're gonna lose them, so you start acting different. You start fucking thinking you run shit and I control shit. I'm gonna manipulate situations. And then the force comes and sets them free. Or you turn them into a Sith Lord and ruin your relationship and you just stay together miserable.
outrage and fear-mongering to generate more attention. For example, in 2017, Facebook adjusted its algorithm so that angry, love, sad, and wow reactions counted as 5 times more valuable than a standard like. But Facebook's own data scientists discovered that posts receiving angry reactions were more likely to contain misinformation and low-quality content, meaning the algorithm was systematically amplifying the worst stuff in the feed. Yoda repeats this fact about anger being more seductive in The Empire Strikes Back.
Is the dark side stronger?
Why do women think they hate men so much? Why are men so angry? 'Cause you're all being beat in your head.
No. But easier, more seductive.
Decades before the advent of social media, Yoda told us how easy it is for people to slip into hate and anger. An even more terrifying study by Cordis, analyzing over 12 million tweets, showed that outrage culture teaches people to post more angry content on social media themselves since it gets more engagement. So social media is actually training people to become more hateful and bitter, not just...
Oh, really? Really?
And they don't want to give black people credit. They don't want to give us any credit. They just want to blame everything on niggas. Didn't some white man in Boston shoot his pregnant wife and then shot himself? Oh, niggers did it. Always trying to blame some niggas. And they believed the shit. So the brother couldn't take it or something, and he could jumped off a fucking bridge, right? Then they told. Then I bet always trying to blame a goddamn nigga. That's why I'm gonna start a new ad. 900 blame a nigga. So when white folks get in trouble, just call my agency. Blame a nigga. I just pushed my mother down the stairs. I don't want to go to jail. Send a nigger over here.
more hateful and bitter, not just serving it up to them on a silver platter. My point is, the next time you see a headline, tweet, or Truth Social post that gets your blood pumping and anxiety levels sky high, ask yourself, am I feeling fearful or angry right now? If so, according to the philosophy of one of the most beloved film franchises of all time, you are on the path to the dark side, which always ends in suffering. The American Psychiatric Association's 2024 poll found that 43% of U.S. adults feel more anxious than the previous year, which is up from 37% in 2023 and 32%.
Sound the horns. My daddy's in the building.
In 2022. This is Yoda's first domino, fear, which affects the overwhelming majority of the country and has been steadily increasing year over year. If this information alone makes you fearful, relax. Remember, that's the path to the dark side. We'll talk about how to swim against that current in just a second. Another fascinating aspect of Star Wars philosophy is how it implies the dark side makes you a slave. In Return of the Jedi, Vader says something heartbreaking to Luke.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Remember, Frankie? Remember I told you? I'm the king of the shadows. Why? Because I know the power of the dark side and to stay on the light.
I must obey my master.
Vader?
You get it? Yous have to do things. You don't get a choice.
He's not marveling at the power of the dark side. He's talking about how much it enslaves him. He tells Luke, I must serve my master, not I choose to serve my master. Vader is a slave to Palpatine. You don't know the power of the dark side, and I must serve my master is almost verbatim how someone deep in addiction talks about their relationship to the substance. And the thing that has power over them isn't making them happy, it's just keeping them from the pain underneath. James Baldwin, a renowned American writer, essayist,
Shout out, OG.
and civil rights activist, once wrote, I imagine one of the reasons people cling to their hate so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they will be forced to deal with pain.
Meaning, once you stop blaming other people for what you're going through and the lies set in that you've been lied to, you're going to realize all the things you've been doing and what you could have been doing. And, then Lord's real and actions and, reactions and judgment.
That quote lines up perfectly with what Vader goes through in the entire trilogy. His mother's death, Padme's death, his slaughter of younglings, the happy person he once was. Confronting that pain is unbearable for him, so the dark side functions like a psychological occupation. He keeps his mind busy, focused on an enemy, and a mission, which is crushing the rebellion, to avoid having to process his pain and confront what he's done. In Return of the Jedi, Palpatine shows Luke the ambush his friends are walking into, hoping to stir up anger in him.
I can feel your anger. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant.
When Luke finally takes his lightsaber and crosses blades with his father, we get one of the best shots in Star Wars history of Palpatine laughing in the background as the sabers scrape against each other. Luke is being Palpatine's servant here. He's doing exactly what he wants him to do, which is strike down his father and become the Emperor's new apprentice. We see Palpatine play a similar game with Anakin in the prequel trilogy, where he manipulates him by stirring up fear and anger to twist him over to the dark side, turning him into a pawn to help him destroy the Jedi. Many Americans are going through a similar journey right now. A great example is actually in the rise of the manosphere. If you haven't seen Louis Theroux's documentary on Netflix, I highly recommend it. He explores the rise of male influencers flaunting riches, one-sided relationships with beautiful women, and inflammatory opinions designed to draw attention on social media so they can sell digital products. Some of the things the influencers say and do in this documentary is truly horrifying, but what they're doing to win the fanaticism of young men is very similar to Palpatine's playbook. Many young men have a lot of pain right now because of social rejection and loneliness, and the manosphere weaponizes this pain by giving these young men something to blame,
It's the same thing they do with the women.
like the system, women, woke agendas, and even Jews. That explanation feels like relief. The manosphere weaponizes the fear of these young boys into anger and then outright hate, which inevitably leads to suffering. The hateful content these influencers push out aren't treating the underlying problem for these boys, they're just making them angry and bitter. So in much the same way Anakin is a slave to Palpatine, young men become slaves to these influencers, finding comfort in blaming others instead of sitting with and processing their pain.
Observe next, Tina, a subject known for endurance.
I have brought peace! Freedom! I have brought peace! Freedom! I have brought peace! Freedom! Justice! And security to my new empire! Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Oh yeah.
I will do what I must.
Didn't I say 2-3 years ago you were fake red pill content? That shit is over. Why? Because regular men are gonna come out and expose you and show how you're just, it's all fake. And then when, like always, if we can't tell the truth and retards can't see, then someone just, hacks your shit and then prove that you're fucking taking steroids or you're fucking, you got like 15 Saigon whores on the side, you're swearing you're celibate, but you're fucking not, you this and that, it's a joke. Just take the money and go already. You got rich. A lot of you got rich. What the fuck is wrong with people? These pawn schemes. Don't you understand pyramid schemes are for limited time? That's how the older niggas before yous got where they got. Because they realized you dip in, get your money, you dip out. You niggas try to stay there for so long because you got...
pain.
Because you got nothing else. You know once you stop this fucking lie, it's over.
I do feel like we're failing young boys as a society, and I have a lot of empathy for their pain. I just don't think worshipping assholes is the way out of this mess. The Jedi say that the Force binds us together.
Its energy surrounds us
My father.
and binds us.
When an entire planet is destroyed in A New Hope, Obi-Wan can feel the disturbance in the Force because he's tapped into the Force, which binds every being together. After Luke uses the Force to deflect a few blaster shots in A New Hope, Obi-Wan says,
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
The Eye of Thundera. A Thundercat's in danger. Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.
deflect a few blaster shots in A New Hope, Obi-Wan says,
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
in Return of the Jedi, Luke and Emperor Palpatine have an interesting exchange.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
The Jedi seem to be more focused on unity and connection between beings, while the Sith seem to be more focused on division, seeing these bonds as weakness. The Sith Creed states this worldview explicitly. It reads, "Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken." Peace is a lie suggests that the Sith fundamentally don't believe in harmony between beings. All they see is power, and its focus on achieving.
No, they look at reality and nature and they see the lion rip shit apart and dominate over other things. And they don't lie to themselves. They just can't get the cycle of life, like the point of, yeah, it does this thing, but it stops. It doesn't just keep brutalizing everything and forcing its will upon everything, because it understands.
Victory fundamentally pits everyone against each other. Let me read you the Jedi Creed real quick. There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force. As I rewatched,
Which most people that are good, they never take the time to understand that. It's not that there's not those things. They are not going to do those things. When you don't do those things, those you have a good reality to live in, you know? And everybody doesn't want to do those things and then complain about the fucking reality they live in.
Empire the other day, I thought about how George Lucas decided to make Dagobah the home of the last surviving Jedi Master. Why not an ocean planet, or a desert planet, or a frozen planet like Hoth? Why a swamp planet? Well, I think a swamp is actually a perfect representation for the Force in general. What better way to visually represent the interconnectedness of the Force than a vast swamp where you can't tell where one tree ends and the other begins? Contrast the organic aesthetics of Dagobah with the unnatural white and black design of Empire spaces. George Lucas describes the dark side of the Force as a corruption or cancer of the Force, rather than the yin to the light side's yang. Designing the Empire, or dark side, as more industrial hints at the coldness and artificiality of this point of view. There is no warmth or interconnectedness. Darth Vader himself represents a literal transformation from human to machine.
He's more machine now than man.
This is what the dark side and things like fear, anger, and hate does to people. It makes them less and less human, cutting them off from their ability to feel. One thing I've realized as I've entered my mid-30s is how discouraged a lot of people are about humanity. Christians, for instance, can talk a lot about how fallen we are and how sinful and brutal humanity can be. Our ruthlessness is emphasized so much that many Christians seem to believe humans are fundamentally bad, and that we can only achieve perfection in heaven. This can create a fear of people, though, in the present. It can create separation and even hatred of the other. Can being the key word, because I don't believe all Christians are this way at all. My point is, believing that brutality and injustice is simply the way of the world does seem like a Sith way of looking at things. Remember their creed. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power.
So when people become Sith Lords and say, good, they're not fighters, I'm gonna pummel my way to the top and no one can stop me. How did the Jedi battle? Oh, you gotta pummel back. So that just fucks up the whole Jedi code right there. The mere fact that you have to use the same brutality back against them, you know, it defeats your philosophy of what you're saying.
Power I gain victory. Sith only see power, not things like peace or harmony. They fundamentally believe the world isn't capable of peace or harmony, believing instead in fear and anger, and wielding them to gain more power. They're realists. This is just the way of the world, they might say. While I certainly wouldn't call these people bad, they might be shocked to realize they certainly hold the worldview of a Sith Lord. Power reigns, and that's that. One of my favorite quotes from Yoda is,
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Yes.
In The Empire Strikes Back, Yoda teaches Luke over and over again how things are not always as they seem.
Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No different. Only different in your mind.
Yes, you could analyze this as a commentary on self-belief and accomplishment, but I look at it a bit deeper. I look at it as, the world has taught you one way of looking at things, and it's actually wrong. You must unlearn what you have learned. Obi-Wan gives Luke a helmet during a training exercise in A New Hope, telling him to reach out with his feelings and not to trust what his eyes are telling him. Maybe it's the same with us. Maybe instead of believing in whatever creed, religion, or idea that was simply given to us since childhood that we had no power in choosing for ourselves, by the way, we need to rethink how we see the world. We need to, as Obi-Wan says, trust our feelings and let go. Maybe we shouldn't trust the outrage and fear-mongering we see on social media as an accurate reflection of the world and people. The Jedi's emphasis on trusting your feelings seems so detached from how a lot of us live our lives in the 21st century. I see many men living in a cage, cut off from their feelings, afraid to show any emotion at all. I see people afraid to be themselves, afraid to trust, afraid to hope. It's fitting that the title of Episode 4 is literally A New Hope. How many of us do hope? How many of us are hopeful for the future instead of fearful? How many of us, instead of being afraid of rejection, decide to be ourselves anyway in front of people and live freely? Fear and anger, unfortunately, rule humanity. It's an act of rebellion to hope and feel and see the possibility for harmony instead of division. That's why Luke's journey in Empire Strikes Back is so difficult for him. Everything he's seeing and everything he's been taught screams at him that this is dangerous, or that that's not possible, or that this is not the way the world works. The most inspiring philosophy that I take away from Star Wars is encompassed in possibly the greatest moment in the entire series, when Yoda lifts Luke's ship out of the swamp and places it on dry land. Yoda is showing the power of the Force when used for good, i.e., he's showing the power of living in the moment, of feeling, of being connected to everything around you. Maybe George Lucas and the creators of Star Wars are trying to not only show the easy power of fear and anger, but also the transformative power of hope and harmony to accomplish things we never believed were possible.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
With the perfect...
There is no dark side, nor a light side. There is only the Force. I will do what I must to keep the balance. The balance is what keeps me together. There is no good without evil, but evil must not be allowed to flourish. There is passion, yet emotion. Serenity, yet peace. Chaos, yet order.
I am the wielder of the flame, the protector of balance. I am the holder of the torch, lighting the way. I am the keeper of the flame, soldier of balance. I am the guardian of balance. I am a gray Jedi.
Or complete me. You're garbage. You kills for money. Don't talk like one of them. You're not. Even if you'd like to be. To them, you're just a freak. Like me. They need you right now. But when they don't, they'll cast you out. Like a leper. See, their morals, their code. It's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Who shall I send? And who will go for us?
I said, Here am I.
They're waking up.
Send me.
I took you from the ends of the earth, from its farthest corners I called you. I said, You are my servant. I have chosen you and have not rejected you, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgraced. Those who oppose you will be as nothing and perish. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be as nothing at all. For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, Do not fear, I will help you.